Bridging the Gap by the Fowles Instructional Coaching Corporation. So the diffusion innovation theory by Everett Rogers talks about an idea, practice, or objective that is perceived as new by an individual or other unit of adoption, according to Dr. Kurt. And there are 5 different types of modes. The innovators, which are the mavericks of the group, they have, quote, a natural affinity for risk and are often on the forefront of the new paradigm. This engaging cluster requires minimal persuasion to do anything, and they are 2.5 of the entire population. The early adopters are a great group to have on any job, and here's why. They, quote, are proactive and enjoy transformation and possess a deep understanding of the necessity, rendering them open to fresh concepts. They like material and informational sheets about innovation, and it resonates with them. And they are 13.5% of the overall population, end quote. The early majority, this part of the group tends to accept innovation sooner than the average individual. However, they typically require to demonstrate evidence of the benefits before committing. So they represent 34% of the average populace. So this is a big part of the bell curve. And this group values testimonials and proof, the show me, of the innovation effectiveness. On the other side of the bell, we have the late majority. They're not enthusiastic about new learning, and this segment will only warm up to innovation after a substantial majority has endorsed it. And they encompass the other 34%, so this is the large part of the population. And then the laggards, which traditionally is the part of the group that is going to, quote, approach change which with the utmost caution. Engaging this segment is intricate and often demands a lot of evidence, emotional pitches, endorsements from the early adopters group, and they're about 16% of the overall populace. So in order to get the innovators, early adopters, and the early majority on board, an innovator and to a lesser degree the adopters and the early majority group, quote, it involves gaining cognitive knowledge during which a learner is exposed to innovation, becoming aware of it, like to access knowledge, seeks information about ways to effectively use it, and increase the likelihood that the individuals will adopt the innovation. They must have a sufficient level of how-to knowledge before attempting to use the innovation independently. And that's from Landau et al. And as you see with working with Christ on earth, he would have collaborated with innovators, early adopters, and the early majorities, as we see in Proverbs, because the heart of prudent getteth knowledge, and the ear of the wisest seeketh knowledge. Christ, while he was here on earth, could have partnered with these groups to do great work. This would have made wonderful progress in education and technology. Utilizing the late majority and laggards groups takes a great deal of patience from anyone, be it a teacher, friend, or supervisor, especially when it comes to technology changes. Quote, as it appears that the PST's initial avoidance of ML, which is mobile learning, was accompanied by a tendency to discount its value, perhaps taking the fear of it. Christ demonstrated patience with people as seen in Peter, and the Lord is slow to show, keeping his promise. Some understand slowness. Instead, if he is patient with you, not anyone wanting to perish, but everyone come to repentance. He would have had to foster relationship, build bridges, mentor, and use wise advice like we see in Proverbs. Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise, to keep these two groups going. Following Christ's example, it's important to lead systems that value Christ's model because he motivates people with compassion and his leadership style. He was a charismatic personality. Even with the laggards with coaxing, they possibly could come around. He would not give up on people who were having a difficult time with training. He was forgiving. So, people who said mean things whilst training, he would show forgiveness. Christ would want to see all 5 groups, the innovators, early adopters, early majority, the late majority, and the laggards succeed. And here is a reference.